Dr. Disrespect is back with his side of the story on his Twitch ban allegations, but first, let's kind of rewind and take a look at what led up to this point. We've got the tweet from Cody Connors alleging that Dr. Disrespect was sexting a minor. Then we've got Dr. Disrespect's response tweet, where he goes into detail a little bit here, and then also clearly says that it was an individual minor, which he removed the word minor and then added it back in. And now that tweet does not even exist on his Twitter page. Dr. Disrespect's last stream was on June 24th, 2024, so he's been gone for a little bit over 2 months, and then now he is back.
For almost 4 years, champs, the public demanded to hear from the doc regarding the Twitch suspension. I guess since you all missed the point with my personal statement, maybe it's time to tell my side of the story. Huh, champs? You see, there was a lawsuit pending, and as part of that arbitration, all parties were not allowed to speak publicly about the case.
Yeah, and that makes sense. That's pretty typical, I think. Yeah, right in the middle of arbitration, in the middle of a lawsuit, there's kind of NDAs, essentially. Yeah, that you're not allowed to speak about the details of the case until the case has been concluded. And even after that, assuming there's no NDAs after that.
I respected those rules. My lawsuit against Twitch was eventually resolved, as you all know. But even then, as part of the settlement, all parties were still prohibited from speaking publicly about the case or the settlement.
Yeah, and that makes sense, right? If it's a private arbitration settlement, right? You don't want to share those details. And if it was agreed upon between both parties, then both parties should adhere to that, yeah.
However, if one side violated that confidentiality, then the other side could respond. And again, champs, again, I respected all the confidential obligations. But apparently Twitch's own disgruntled employees didn't feel the need to abide by those same obligations.
Yeah, and as far as I know, that's true. I haven't heard of anything where he broke some sort of NDA on his side first. As far as I know, it was just these previous Twitch employees that did that.
Cody Connors, ex-Twitch employee, wasn't even involved, leaks Twitch's reported reason.
Calling him out direct. Cody Connors, you're on the stand.
Years later. Cody, why do this? What was the point? This was settled professionally. And you, knowing how black and white the internet is, you decided, you fucking rat, to leak the reported reason Twitch banned me.
He seems a little mad. No, of course. I mean, understandably so. Dredging all this up, it's got to be frustrating, and I'm sure it's had some career impact on him. I'm sure it has. So, yeah, I can understand, I think, why Cody Connors brought it up. I can understand. I think he wanted to farm. I think he wanted to farm a little bit. Because just out of nowhere, like Dr. Disrespect said, after 4 years, what would be the point other than just farming? Just trying to get visibility on your Twitter, you know? That's what it seems like to me.
In 2020. I mean, for what? Cody? Why? Did you not know the repercussions from spewing lies about the two-time? Did you not know the repercussions of accusing me, Cody Connors? You see, you don't know shit, and it was obvious from your tweet. You didn't have any firsthand knowledge of my dispute with Twitch.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Cody Connors just threw out the simple tweet there, oh, it was because of sexting, but he didn't really have anything to back it up either. So, I mean, both sides kind of haven't shared much detail. I want to see if we get a bit more detail out of Dr. Disrespect here, but yeah, Cody Connors didn't really share anything either. He gave no really defining proof at all. He just said it, and just because he's a previous Twitch employee, I guess we're supposed to believe it.
You said that I got banned from Twitch because I was sexting a minor through Whisper's messages? Do you even know what the legal definition of sexting is? I do. And yeah, I used Twitch as Whispers, but trust me, I wasn't sexting anyone. You also said the word minor, Cody. I even made sure that word was emphasized in my statement, edited, etc., just to make sure these so-called journalists would pick up on it.
That's one point that still bothers me, right? Why did he need to remove the word and then put it back in? The only thing I can think of is that the person, the individual that he was messaging, was in a state that has consent laws for like 16 or 17, something like that. And so the reason he removed the word minor was because technically the person could consent for themselves. So they, they're not legally like tied in a weird way, if that makes sense. That's the only thing that I can think, the reason that he took away that word and then put it back in, because, maybe technically they're truly a minor overall, but, whatever. So that's the only thing I can make sense of that.
And boy, oh boy, did they ever, champs. When you and all these so-called journalists, Cody, fired off your tweets, did any of you consider that the Twitch user may have been over the legal age of consent at the time of the messages?
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, that's exactly what he's saying here then. He's confirming that they're in a state that has legal consent age of, either 17 or 16, something like that. So that's what he's saying then. So this user, this individual, was able to consent for themselves. So the argument there being that they're not technically a minor, I guess, or at least not in that state.
You didn't. Neither did any of these journalists, and neither did Twitch at the time of the ban. You also tried to tell the world that I was trying to meet up with this user at TwitchCon, but you're wrong. Let's set the record straight. I never intended to meet this user ever. We never made plans to meet at TwitchCon or anywhere else, and in fact, we never met in person ever.
Okay. I mean, I can accept that. It's really hard without seeing these messages to know if that's true or not. But that particular detail wasn't really that big of a deal to me in the first place anyway. It was more the sexting allegations and the fact that the Dr. Disrespect here was kind of being secretive a little bit, or I don't know, like catching himself, maybe a little bit of self-reporting in a way when he was removing and adding back in the word minor, overthinking it and thinking like, oh, I'm giving too much away or something. That's what I was thinking initially. I thought it was a bit of self-reporting. So I was more concerned about that aspect. If he's saying that they never planned to meet, then okay, that's good, I guess,
Your bullshit accusations gave false courage to other former Twitch employees to make shit up as well. I suspect all of you sort of planned and coordinated this attack.
I could believe that. I mean, Twitch is huge, and if there was multiple people that didn't like Dr. Disrespect, maybe they worked together to, do some sort of public release of information at the same time. I could believe that.
These big-time publications...
Some companies can be cliquey, just like high school, right? You get your tight-knit groups of people that you kind of hang close to and are buddies with in the workplace, and, you stay buddies with afterwards, so... this ex-Twitch employee, he probably was still buddy-buddy with some people that he worked with, and maybe he did work together with them to kind of release information at the same time, just to make Dr. Disrespect look bad. We don't know for sure. We can only assume or, theorize.
These journalists, these various outlets are sort of just gossip channels now, don't you think, champs?
That I agree with 100%, though. Major news outlets these days, they're literally just gossip centers. Literally just gossip centers for spreading just drama. And that's pretty much all it is.
They act like they're just gossip channels now, without any real journalism and real research happening.
Yeah. Yeah, it actually really bothers me that these news outlets, they will cite like 3 sites over. Like, oh, I cite this site, and that site that they cited says, oh, I cite this site. It's like it's a train of like telephone, like the game you play as a kid where you're losing the source material along the way. It happens all the time.
They reported on all this based on leaks from 2 former Twitch employees, one of whom was supposedly on the trust and safety team.
Okay.
If these anonymous sources worked on the trust and safety team at the time of my Twitch suspension in 2020, then you would hope they would tell the truth. But apparently that's just too much to ask. If
Yeah.
these former trust and safety team members, and by the way, I know exactly who they are, actually had firsthand knowledge, then what they conveniently left out is, 1, Twitch's trust and safety team, the same employees that decided to ban me, internally admitted that the whisper messages were not sexting.
Okay, that's pretty significant, right? You've got these allegations that are publicly said, but it's just straight up they were talking about it internally, saying that there was nothing close to sexting or anything like that. That is definitely interesting. I wish he had proof. I wish there was some way. I mean, maybe there is. Maybe there is proof that he can't show, or he's afraid to show for whatever reason, or he's been advised not to show. I'm not sure. But that's definitely interesting. It's spicing up the story for sure.
And 2, Twitch's trust and safety team, the same employees that decided to ban me, internally acknowledged that the whispers did not constitute child sexual abuse material CSAM. I'll say it again.
Okay.
Neither I nor the Twitch user exchanged any sexual graphic messages or images.
Okay.
Cody Connors and these other anonymous sources are trying to paint a picture that I was exchanging sexually explicit messages and photos with this Twitch user. That never happened.
Okay. Yeah, again, it's really hard to know without seeing those chat messages, without knowing, the inside and out of this. It is really hard to know for sure if this is true, but if true, I mean, yeah, that's pretty significant. That makes these allegations from Cody Connors and the other guy pretty baseless.
I even used the word inappropriate purposely. And look at how it's defined by everyone, champs. Huh? Including these defaming articles.
That's true. Man, the word inappropriate, really just saying that by itself, so many things could be interpreted as inappropriate. I mean, just because of the age gap, you could say, oh, him asking that user about how their, I don't know, personal life is, like how are things at your job, or how are you getting on with your friends or something. That could be considered inappropriate because you're asking things about their personal life and you're way older than them and you don't really know them. That could be called inappropriate. When there's really nothing of a sexual nature, nothing of a really weird, warped nature like that at all. But just because he was asking maybe like a private question or something like that, but still very innocent, like, hey, how's your family, or how's your friends, or how's whatever, that could be considered inappropriate even in the right framing or context. And so, I don't know, just saying the word inappropriate doesn't necessarily mean the horrible, dark, seedy things that people are making it out to be. But again, we don't know what they talked about in those messages, so who knows?
I'm sorry, but mutual bantering with inappropriate jokes taken out of context should have never led to me getting banned from Twitch in the first place.
Okay. Inappropriate jokes, it always depends. It always depends on, I guess the whole context and the joke itself, what you're joking about. It's really hard without seeing those messages. It's really hard to say because, you just say that by itself and immediately I question things a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's fair, right? Just a little bit of joking and, taken out of context, it looks really bad. Okay.
I mean, how would each of you look if all of your private DMs, your text messages, your chats were looked at, dissected, and taken out of context by someone who's deliberately trying to find something inappropriate in those words? And this is not a situation where a victim publicly accuses someone of wrongdoing. That never happened here.
And that's also true. I don't remember hearing anything about the individual that he was talking to on Twitch Whispers ever saying anything about this publicly, like, oh, he was sexting me, or, it was inappropriate to me, or anything like that. None of that ever happened.
We're talking about allegations
that
Twitch made against me as a half-baked reason for justifying their actions of suspending and shutting down my channel. Allegations that Twitch made without even a legal analysis of whether the whisper messages were legal.
Yeah, I mean, that sucks, definitely. If they just kind of went after it, kind of half-baked, and just pulled the trigger, okay, well, we've got this allegation, let's just terminate him or terminate his contract or whatever. I mean, that's definitely unfortunate. I don't know that happened. I have no idea. I could believe that there was no proper kind of due course that went through, that there was no analysis done that he was talking about. I could believe it, but I don't know for sure.
You see, I engage with my community. I engage with other streamers.
Yeah.
And through Twitch Whispers, I communicate with Twitch users.
Yeah.
Conversations that consisted of a variety of playing games and gaming politics, content creation, random stuff.
Yep.
This was the extent of my whispers with this Twitch user. On June 21st, 2020, my ex-Twitch partner manager learns that I exchanged whispers with the Twitch user.
Okay.
And I say ex-partner manager because for years, this guy didn't do anything for me, my community, or my channel. For years. I'm talking no front page love. You're talking about the face of the platform, right? Literally. The face of the platform.
Yeah, that's kind of strange. I mean, as a manager, right? And especially for a huge, I mean, come on, guys. Let's be honest. Dr. Disrespect is huge. He's been huge for a while. Maybe not as much now, but I saw the numbers this morning and it was pretty crazy, the return stream. We'll see if it carries on from here, but he's huge and he's been huge, right? And so, yeah, hearing that the manager was not doing his part and not working with Doc, working for Doc, kind of supporting him in the way that he should as his manager, yeah, that's definitely, it sounds like there's some bad blood there. Not sure what could have happened in the background, but for whatever reason, it sounds like he wasn't, kind of supporting him like he should.
And I know Champions Club remembers this. We got zero front page love on the website.
Oof.
He was never on my channel. He didn't follow me on Twitter.
Weird.
He wouldn't even inform us about Twitch rival tournaments. We're talking about the two-time.
Yeah, if you're a manager for a big content creator, I would think you'd be going to bat for them every chance that you could get, like every chance, like trying to get them involved in everything. It's very strange.
Twitch rival tournament. Oh, I'm sorry. Would you want to play in it? We got zero support from this guy.
Okay.
And it was just so obvious that he carried a grudge against the two-time. So after we signed with Twitch in 2019, we asked for a new partner manager.
I could see that. I could see if you work at Twitch and, you have a love for the platform, maybe you're interested in streaming yourself, and the guy that you have to represent is just this huge, larger-than-life personality, just kind of in your face. I mean, let's be honest, Dr. Disrespect. Dr. Disrespect. He's very in your face, right? And so if you don't jive with that, or, you're just... maybe it's abrasive and he has what you want. Like, I could understand. I could see it happening. I could see the resentment and I could see the guy not doing his part the way he should.
And just a few months later,
I can imagine
that ex-Twitch partner manager is directly involved with getting me banned.
Yeah.
Coincidence?
So again, right? I always have to say if true, because we don't know for sure. But if true, yeah, it lines up. I mean, it does. If he holds a grudge against him, Dr. Disrespect has what he wants, maybe, and yeah, he wants to get him out for whatever reason. So yeah, that could line up.
The Twitch user tells the ex-Twitch partner manager that they do not want to report anything to Twitch. I'll repeat that sentence one more time just in case anybody missed that one. The Twitch user tells this ex-Twitch partner manager that they do not want to report anything to Twitch. But this ex-Twitch partner manager encourages the user and even directs them to file a report directly with Twitch, even though the user told him clearly that we never physically met anywhere and that no photographs were exchanged.
Okay.
On June 24th, 2020, Twitch's Special Operations Team receives and reviews the user's report.
Yeah, I don't know for sure what's going on there, right? I mean, this is all just it's hearsay for me, right? We're hearing what he has to say about it, and we have no proof. We have no proof. I'm guessing that the stuff he's talking about is things that came out in that settlement kind of arbitration between him and Twitch. I'm not sure, but I'm guessing, and that's how he knows some of this stuff and is speaking on it so clearly. But again, who knows for sure unless we get shown some proof.
They find no issues and determine that it did not warrant any further escalation to Twitch's law enforcement response team.
Okay. And that makes sense, right? If the chat messages were as innocent as he's saying, that manager encouraged the user to file that report. The report had no substance because the user says the truth or whatever, assumedly or allegedly is the truth. Hey, we talked about some silly jokes and maybe they were taken out of context. Who knows? But it seems pretty innocent to me. But here's my report. And then the Twitch team determines, hey, yeah, there's nothing here. So, okay, that all lines up.
That would have been the end. That should have been the end. But that partner manager, oh boy, did he had it out. He had it out for the two-time.
Yeah.
He finds out that no further action will be taken, so what does he do? He personally escalates the report to a friend on the Twitch's LER team. The LER team, remember, that's the Twitch's law enforcement response team.
Okay.
He escalates the report to a friend on Twitch's LER team. So a day later, on June 25th, the LER analyst pulls the entirety of the whisper messages and begins discussing them with his director of the LER team.
Okay.
Mind you, this director is on vacation at that time and does not have access to their computer or work files.
Oh.
Let me just remind you, I went through a multi-year, big-time arbitration. Okay.
Just imagine this. I can clearly see it in my head. The upper level manager just chilling on a beach, laying back in one of those easy chairs on the beach, just like sipping a Mai Tai or something. They get a call from this LER, associate. Hey, boss, I got this story I need to go over with you. Here's this, and this cherry-picked message. And the boss has no idea what truly is going on. He's just hearing stuff, and he's just going for it. Like, okay, sure, yeah, you're my guy. If you feel this way, sure, I'll sign off on, terminating his contract. If you're saying this is true, I believe you. Just go for it. He couldn't care less what's actually going on. He's on vacation. He's chilling. He's relaxing, having a good time. He just wants to get off the phone with this guy. Yeah, I could imagine this playing out in my head.
And, you discover a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Mind you, this director is on vacation at that time.
Okay. So, yeah. So he was talking about the arbitration. So a lot of stuff was uncovered in that process. So I think that's why he's able to speak so clearly on all of these things. I wish we had some of these documents or things to go over, but yeah, I guess that explains it.
The LER analyst cherry picks and sends a few targeted excerpts out of context from the whisper messages to this director.
Okay.
Now, if you do this, you can make anyone's messages look inappropriate.
True.
Even when they aren't.
True. No, it's true. True. I thought about trying to give an example. I don't want to. I don't want to do it. But yeah, it's true. Any messages could be taken and just turned into something else entirely, pretty much. Yeah.
Within less than 1 hour, this LER analyst and his director have made the decision to suspend me from Twitch.
Yeah, see, like I said, less than an hour, right? So they were really he was hashing it out hardcore on this phone call, like, hey, boss, I've got this, and this. No, yes, I checked that. Yes, I checked that. I have all these things. The boss is just like barely involved, like, oh, yeah, okay. I'm on vacation with my family, right? I want to finish this up real quick here, okay? So just give me all the stuff. We'll sign it off. I'll say I gave my approval, and then I'll shoot the email later to, authorize it. Oh, my gosh.
Twitch submits a report to NCMEC. You guys all read those little articles, huh?
Okay.
The NCMEC. Twitch submits that report. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children.
There we go.
Guess what? As far as I know, and over 4 years have passed, they didn't do anything with the report.
Okay.
As far as I know, they didn't escalate Twitch's report to law enforcement.
And we would have heard about that, I'm sure. It would have been all over the news. So, yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, it's definitely seeming like it was confirmed that nothing serious happened, that nothing law-breaking happened, for sure. So we know that much for sure. Nothing serious or law-breaking happened, but it could still be more inappropriate than he's letting on. Let's see what else he has to say.
Mind you, the same people that made this decision admit internally that the messages did not constitute sexting.
Right.
The same people that made this decision at Twitch admit internally that the messages did not warrant any child sexual abuse material charge.
Okay.
Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me while admitted they did not perform any legal analysis of whether the messages exchanged were illegal in any way.
Yeah, again, that part I believe, right? If they had it out for him, of course they're not going to go through any sort of due process, even their own internal due process, right? Especially if it's their own internal due process, right? Because it's up to them. It's their company, or their rules. They get to pick and choose where they apply the rules. So I could believe that. I could believe that's how it played out.
Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me while admitting that they never investigated the age of consent in the jurisdiction where the user's messages were sent and received. Twitch.
That's actually pretty significant. If true, hey, yeah, we didn't even check and see what the legal age of consent is in that state where this user resides. But yeah, we're just going to call it he was inappropriately talking to a minor, and that's our reasoning for banning him.
Which makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me without ever interviewing me, the user, or any other third party, including the partner manager. It's fucking unbelievable!
Yeah. Just show the chats. That would clear up so much stuff. Maybe there's some agreement. Maybe part of the arbitration, they had the user involved. I don't know. But maybe part of this whole process was the user didn't want to be, have their messages shown or something. Maybe that's part of it. Or anything about them to be shown. And so that included the messages. I don't know. Who knows why it won't just be shown to kind of clear him up 100%. But yeah, that would definitely help if we could see.
I'm not going to get into every detail regarding my legal case.
Okay.
But these former Twitch employees that claim to have firsthand knowledge, they just don't have a clue.
Okay.
They didn't report any facts. The judge in the case determined that the whispers were not illegal.
Right.
So then why did Twitch use these messages against me? Why did Twitch treat the doc so differently from their other streamers? I mean, outside of the obvious. Just take a look at me. Right? Unfiltered. The realest motherfucker in this industry. 6'8", gorgeous, athletic, successful, college degree, college athlete, bourbon business, gaming studio, beautiful family.
And there's the Dr. Disrespect that we know. Yeah, he's definitely back.
Trust me, we've worked hard for over a decade to improve as a person, a husband, and father, and to get where we're at today. I'm in such a good place today.
Okay.
And all these people, they all act like they're just so perfect. I'm not perfect.
Nope. But nobody is. Nobody is. Not even close.
I don't claim to be perfect.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do. But I also didn't do all the shit that they're saying I did.
Okay.
But then that doesn't make a story, right? They wanted media attention. The media wants controversy. And by sensationalizing all of this with big, inaccurate headlines like sexting and sexually explicit, you all got what you wanted at the expense of the tube time. The reality is, they wanted to cut down the doc. Plain and simple.
Okay.
Take a look at some of these horrendous acts of Twitch streamers that were never banned. I've got some examples right here.
Okay, let's hear it.
Example number 1. A streamer that frequently used the N-word while publicly streaming, which constitutes a violation of Twitch's policies if accompanied by hateful intent.
Okay.
Twitch scheduled a meeting with the streamer to ascertain his intent to determine whether his conduct was a violation of Twitch's policies, ultimately determining it was not a breach of Twitch's policies.
Wow.
Why wasn't I called into a meeting?
True. Yeah. If they're doing that for others to determine their intent, yeah, they should do the same for everybody.
Why wasn't my intent taken into consideration, champs? Example number 2. Streamer was reported for discussing doing things with deceased animals and discussing pedophilia, all while live streaming. Never suspended, but instead given a multi-million-dollar contract.
Who?
Example number 3.
I want to know who. I want to know who. That's crazy.
Streamer was reported for a sexually explicit stream involving children and telling children to send Snapchats of them playing with themselves. Never suspended, but instead, given a multi-million-dollar contract.
I mean, on these points, yeah, these people should not be on the platform. If true, they should not be on the platform at all. That's insane. It doesn't matter how big of a moneymaker they are. Who cares? That's disgusting and disturbing. You're interacting with young people on this platform, so you shouldn't be on it if you're doing stuff like that. That's crazy.
It's so obvious that certain Twitch executives, employees involved had personal biases against the doc and used all of this as an opportunity to terminate my contract.
Yeah, it's strange. If those other examples are true, it's weird that, like, an example where somebody was doing something that was technically legal, that they get banned, but then these other examples that are much more extreme didn't get banned. Yeah, it's very strange, very strange. And again, we don't know if those examples are true, but I'm just saying, if they are, that's very weird how they're enforcing their rules there. It's just very strange.
Go back and look at the timing of all this too. The doc's termination lines up with 2 preferable, profitable, and expensive streamers leaving Mixer.
Mixer. Wait. Oh, so that must have been Shroud and Ninja. It had to have been Shroud and Ninja. What? No way. No, that's true. There may be something to that. No. This other stuff obviously happened, right? I mean, the messages, whether they were inappropriate or not, it's hard to say. We can't see them. Oh, gosh, we would know so clearly, obviously, if we could just see them. But that part definitely lines up. Shroud and Ninja, of course Twitch would want to grab those guys. And if they couldn't afford 3 top-tier streamers and they had to cut one in favor of the 2 top-tier, then I could believe that. I could believe that, definitely.
As soon as Twitch knew that Mixer had failed, and go look at the timing.
Yeah. That's true.
These other expensive streamers needed a new streaming platform.
It's true.
So Twitch rushed through its decision to terminate the 2-time.
Crazy.
You see, I shouldn't even be banned from Twitch.
That may be true.
It has affected us on so many levels. Back in 2020 and now in 2024.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, to have something settled and then to have it dug back up, obviously it was settled, right? So there was a decision concluded and no law enforcement got involved. Nothing was done illegal. It's got to suck to have that dredged back up for sure, yeah.
And Cody, Connors, I just have to say it again. Why would you do this?
Yeah.
Like I said,
for his 15 minutes of fame, that's my guess.
This was handled professionally years ago. No fucking wrongdoing.
Yeah.
But because of you, Cody, we just lost. Fuck, man.
Lots of money, right? Contracts and stuff.
Unfortunately, we have to lay off people from Midnight Society.
Oh. No, that sucks too. Yeah, because other people's jobs are at stake, and so if Dr. Disrespect is, either the main or one of the main people, putting money into Midnight Society, and then this happens, and he's losing, big amounts of money, drastic amounts of money because of this stuff that's getting dredged up, then yeah, they would have to lay people off if he can't put his money as much into the company. Yeah, that sucks for the people who have to lose their jobs because of this.
Right. Because of you, Cody.
Yeah.
Through all this, we are where we are. And like a fucking man, I'll accept it.
All right.
What I don't accept is sitting quietly by and let these idiots attack me with false accusations. No. For all these doc haters out there too, oh man, the ones that project and project and project and project and worry about everyone else's problems, right? I can't understand.
That's just the way of the internet now. Yeah, we always have to jump into other people's lanes to get involved. It's just how the internet is. It's really kind of a cesspool a little bit. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
That mindset. I could care less. We've always stayed in our lane.
Yeah.
But somehow, some way, these people, they just get in our lane. For all you doc haters, I'm sure you'll dissect all of this and still find a way to publicly criticize me. Do what you need to do. I'll say this isn't for you. This was for my team today, my community, my friends,
yeah,
La Familia that have supported me. And I'm not denying the exchange of whispers, champs. I'm not denying that to all of you out there. It looks bad.
Yeah.
I have no way of knowing if the Twitch user thought our exchange of whispers was inappropriate. If it was, I apologize.
Okay.
All I know is that I never did what Twitch, Cody Connors, or the public is claiming that I did.
Okay. Interesting.
That's it. I'm not saying anything more about any of this, right? Unless I need to, because trust me, I have more I haven't disclosed.
Ooh. I wonder what it is. I wonder if it's more streamers that he has stories about, or if he has more names that he would drop, or actual evidence that he would bring forward. It would be interesting. Yeah, it would be interesting to see if that actually comes out.
I just want to get back to what we do best. Put on a show. And climb our way to the tippity top of the mountain, man.
There it is.
In our own lane.
There it is.
That's it.
Man, whatever you want to say about the doc, whatever you want to say, wherever you sit on this subject, at least he came back with a response, and it has some detail. It has some meat to it. I've seen a lot of lame responses on the internet, a lot of lame responses on YouTube to allegations. At least he came forward with something, and I wish we had the messages. I really wish we had the messages. I wish we had actual evidence and detail, but at the very least, this had some meat to it. The Cody Connors allegation tweet was basically nothing. I mean, it just said, sexting with no evidence, way less than the doc has come back with. So, hey, at the very least, we can say Doc had the balls to get on the internet and kind of lay everything out there on his side of the story. Whether we know for sure if it's true or not, we don't. But maybe we'll get the messages some days. Who knows? Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next video.